All right, 6:30. It's 6:30 right now. I wanted to come on here to highlight, tap to unmute. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. So I need to mute again, you guys. So give me 1 second to get this cleaned up here. I am live. I'm also going to try to record here. That is my intention. All right, so I still should be live right now, and you guys should be able to see what I'm speaking about here. I'm going to show you guys a video. This whole conversation is about Black businesses. I'm pulling it up on my laptop computer as well, because I want you guys to see what we have in terms of how we got the United States of America structured so that things can be different. But the title is, "It's Nothing for You to Do." It's nothing for you to do. And I want to break that down and kind of explain that a little bit more. I want to flush that out, because I know when you hear that, it's like, what do you mean it's nothing to do? It is something to do, but it's nowhere near what we believe we got to do to stop this bloodshed and make our neighborhoods safer. So I want to dive into that. Right now, I need someone who is watching to let me know if you can hear me. I need a sound check, because I have a feeling that you guys may not be able to hear me. Like that's a concern. I did a video over the weekend, and that joker went an hour and 6 minutes, and no one can hear me. So I was like really, really devastated that I did that long of a video and no one can hear me. So hopefully you guys can hear me, and I'm going to go to YouTube so I can see if you guys can see me on here. It says I'm live on YouTube, so we're good to go. All right, so let's get this show on the road here. Let's get this show on the road right here. Your host, Cy Smith, coming to you on a Education Tuesday. Every Tuesday is Education Day. And so this video that I'm about to play, I'm not gonna play all of it, but I would like you guys to listen in and give me your thoughts on what you are gonna take out of it. I'm gonna speed it up. It's a long video. All right, we're getting feedback noise here. All right, we're getting a feedback noise here. Okay to that. All right, let me just go into video, because while you guys waiting, to watch what I want to show you. So I'm showing my screen. Okay, watch what I want to show you. So I'm showing my screen to you right now. Watch what I want to show you. While you're watching this, I'm going to play back How to Sell to a Negro. You guys are watching this. I'm gonna work on this audio issue. Okay. How to Sell to a Negro.
What does it feel like to customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual so you only pay for what you need? Just like this.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only pay.
The information we got from people who ought to know, the National Association of Real Estate Boards.
Well, maybe, but I've always heard that Negroes buy shoddy, poor quality merchandise.
No, it's just the other way around. According to leading researchers, in proportion to population and income, Negroes buy more quality products than any other comparable United States group. You see, there are a lot of confused notions about the Negro customer. But when you dig right down and find out about them, they just don't hold water. Negroes own homes. They meet their payments faithfully. They buy good brands of merchandise. So why let a lot of old-fashioned ideas hurt profits? Take a look at the real facts. Here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, some amazing facts and figures about this new market have been uncovered. For a first-hand report, we would like to take you directly to the United States Department of Commerce to hear this story from the Secretary of Commerce himself. Here is the Honorable Sinclair Weeks, the Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
In the Department of Commerce, we are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Recently, we have been interested in a rising young market, one that represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market. The tremendous buying power of this group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures. An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least 1/3 of the Negroes living in cities earn from $2,000 to $5,000 a year. Today, the average Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939. As a whole, the Negro market has a total income of about $15 billion every year.
$15 billion.
And after taxes,
right
Negro families still have many billions of dollars to spend. Here is a buying power that cannot help but have a tremendous effect on our national economy and on business prosperity in general. When these dollars are spent for a wide range.
Okay. All right. So let's stop sharing that. Let's stop sharing that screen. All right. So I'll put the link on here to make sure you guys can watch it at your discretion as well. But as you can see, this is an official document from several governmental entities talking about the Negro dollar, talking about the black dollar and how important it is. Before I get deep into that conversation about the black dollar, I want to talk about the shooting, the killing, the bloodshed in our communities and where we are now compared to where we were in the 1990s when we saw this large epidemic back in the 90s. It was due to the crack epidemic drugs. And so now, 30 years later, incomes are higher than it was back then. But the difference is, I believe, I call it the fatigue of being in the struggle so long has caused some people to just not give a F. And so that's what we're dealing with now. Whereas I believe back in the 90s, people were still trying to find their way. But now people have found their way, and now you got an even more distinct haves and have-nots. And the have-nots no longer see a pathway to being in a better position. And so therefore, it's easier to take than to go around this hamster wheel of not being able to achieve the desired economic results. That coupled with the fact that we still dealing with police brutality at a different level, the younger generation not being willing to tolerate it the way, we may have done it in the past. So all those things make the 2020s more combustible than it was back in the 1990s when we saw the crack epidemic. So having said that, a lot of my leaders I've been interacting with and talking to, and what I was saying to a lot of them who was feeling a little fatigued and hopeless about what can we do, Side, what can we do, what can we do? And I'm very clear on what needs to happen. Been working at this for a long time, and it's not what we do. And that's what I wanted to spend this video really highlighting, that it's not something that you're gonna do that's gonna turn this violence around, to stop the bloodshed, as the introduction said. So I wanted to be real clear. It's not what we can do. It's all about money. It's all about us pooling our dollars together. That's what it's about. And I'm not talking about in your local city, in your local block, precinct, in your family. Those things are important. We should do that. But there has to be a national effort, because what we're dealing with is national. So it can't be that Chicago think it can save itself. LA think it can save itself. Boston think it can save itself. The Defender wrote editorial, and it says the need for a national agenda, a national agenda. And this was written a long time ago, 2001, 20 some years ago, the need for a national African-American agenda. And so that's what I wanted to highlight. If nothing else you take away from this conversation is that it's bigger than you, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than my local neighborhood, it's bigger than my local city. We need to agree nationally on our money. And let me say this, we don't need everyone. 2% based on our calculations is all we need. So 98% of other Blacks can continue doing what they're doing. We only need 2%. I got a lot of numbers to run by you, but before I get into the numbers, I want to finish giving you commentary on why I feel like it's nothing that you're gonna do that's gonna stop this bloodshed. It's about you releasing your money. And in this case too, your zip code, the block by block structure within your zip code. So let's talk about what's already been done. And we keep hearing that we need to get more people involved. So before I do that, when have everyone done anything? Almost never. So you're not going to get everyone at the exact same season that you want to get everyone. People are at different places in their life. Some people are caring for ailing parents, so they can't be on what you're on. Some people is they fresh out of school, so they just want to relax. It's just life, and there's so many people at different places. So the notion that we got to get everyone is a false notion. We don't have to get everyone. We are up against structural racism and systemic racism. Structural are people in positions. Systematic is the behaviors of the people in those positions. All right. So we got those two different things going on. But I want to answer the question affirm the statement that I made, that it's not what you're going to do that's going to turn Black life around. So here's the things that's been tried already. We've done block clubs. Okay. So we should continue to do getting people organized block by block. That's not an argument against that. But I'm saying block clubs are not going to be able to stop the bloodshed. Strong blocks are a good thing. I'm an advocate of neighbors knowing each other. That's important. Committees. We got all type of committees, political committees, religious committees, not-for-profit committees. What can committees do? If you stop it in Memphis, it happened in Detroit, that person from Detroit escapes, he come and flee over here to this neighborhood. What I'm saying is it's a national problem. It's going to require a national pooling of our money together. We tried conflict interrupters. They go out and interrupt it. Well, it's 86,400 seconds every day. So the minute you leave, it can go down, so that's, again, not something that you can cover all 86,400 seconds with. We've done festivals, we've done marches, we've done meetings, we've done news conferences, we've done patrols, we've done peace gatherings, we've done prayer vigils, we've done petition drives, we've done rallies, we've done summits, we've done trainings, we've done town halls. That's like A to Z what we've been through. Block clubs, committees, conflict resolution, festivals, marches. I went A through Z. Let me know some others so we can get it in there. But here's the point. All of those things are needed, all right? But keep in mind that the majority of people, 75% of the people, 3/4 of the people are not going to participate or be a part of your organization or your religious group. They're just living a life. That's just the way it is. You go to meetings, last 30 years, you see the same leaders active, committed in these meetings. And all of these meetings, you hear them say, we need to get more people involved. That's the hamster wheel to me. That's us going around in the circle, saying we need to get more people involved, not recognizing that the people are where they want to be right now. They studying for their degree. They taking care of multiple kids, taking care of elderly parents. Like it's not as reasonable to think you're going to get everyone involved the way you want them to, which is coming to meetings and feeling like we on our way somewhere. However, there is things you can get from the 75% of our people, and that's economics. Because the 75% of our people still giving our money to Arabs, the Asians, all the other ethnic groups. So it's really about this. It's all about this. These other ethnic groups are structurally in our neighborhood because of this. They're not there because they like you, they want to be your friend. They're there because it's this to be made there. So when I named all those things that we've tried, what we haven't tried yet is a national agreement to pull together $1. Like, I've never seen that. The closest is the Nation of Islam, in terms of seeing the need that we can agree on something and testing us to see if we can execute on what we say we should do. And so for me, my whole 27 years of doing this has been anchored on getting us to see value in releasing $1 a month. And it's been the fight of my life. I think it's the toughest fight in Black America, in Black society, because what you're dealing with is the 75% of the people who are kind of don't want to be bothered. We call it DWBBA, don't want to be bothered area. So you got that population of people who don't want to be bothered. Then you have the 10% of people who are caught up solely on what they do, their organization, their bike club, their fraternity, sorority. So if it don't fit in their world, then you can't be a part of it, or they'll just utilize you to support what they're doing. But everyone isn't in that. That's a minority. That's 10% of our people. Then you got the 15% that's in the religious sector. So if they don't fit spiritually, then they're not going to participate. All of that stuff is fine. We don't need 100%. We only need 2%. And it's 46 million Black people in this country. We're the largest racial group in America. We're the largest racial group in America, and we don't act like it. And that's bad. We got a lot of help to not act like it, because the country feeds off of us. The clip I just played to you is a perfect example. Back in 1954, the government talked about this new emerging market, which is Black dollars. And back then they talked about how to reach this market, that they not as bad as the white supremacists was putting it out there, why they don't want to deal with the Negro. So anyway, that was 1954. You can just go to YouTube and type in how to sell to a Negro. I got this last week courtesy of Angela from the west side of Chicago. I viewed it. I endorse it. It's something that I think we all need to push and make sure people know about this, especially Wednesdays, which is Economic Day. So let me give you the numbers. We have been the majority racial group in this country since we got here. Okay, the census and the way they matriculate the numbers and all that stuff. Please know, just from the evildoers' original setting, they needed to build this nation. They needed more people than themselves. It couldn't be in all these white people and then you got less Black people. They needed majority labor, so that's why it was majority us over here. And since then, we've of course been having children. So don't drink the Kool-Aid that we're 13% of the population, because the fact of the matter is everyone else is grouped together in convenient ways. For instance, when you talk about the Europeans, which Europeans? The Germans, the Italians, the Irish, who you're talking about? They got African Americans all in one. They ain't got Europe or white America all in one. They got them separated. The largest white group out of 280 million white people in America are 43 million. We're 46 million. So we're 3 million more based on last year's census than the German Americans, so whites with German ancestry. The Mexican Americans are 37 million here in this country, the documented ones. So my point is, J. Edgar Hoover, the top police officer of the country, said the biggest threat to this nation is blacks coming together. He said that for a reason. And the reason he said that, I believe, has a lot to do with the fact that he saw those numbers, that if blacks were to come together, they might want to repair the wrongs of the past. And he saw that as a threat. All right. But anyway, the point I want to make with the biggest thing for us to do is to pool our money together. National Block Club University is in great position. Our whole focus is about anti-violence. So pulling together this $1 is the biggest challenge. And it's what I hope can move you and your family to say, let's do this. We've tried block clubs, committees, conflict interrupters, festivals, meetings, marches, news conferences, patrols, peace gatherings, petition drives, prayer vigils, protests, rallies, summits, trainings, town halls. We've tried that A to Z. In every city all over America, we're trying that. The murders came, the totals came out last year. Philadelphia exceeded, Memphis exceeded, Chicago exceeded, like the murders going up. And in every one of them neighborhoods, the people are saying, let's do more meetings, let's do more protests, pass more laws. And what I'm saying, the biggest thing we need to do is to pool $1 together nationwide, national. That's the biggest thing. People say, well, what is that going to do? Put it to you this way. With all those things I just named, each of them can use more funding. Each of them can use more funding. But here's a better way of looking at it. If the focus is collecting money, if that becomes our focus, collecting money, getting blacks to agree to release money, if that becomes our focus, how long does that take? That's a conversation to your spouse, to your significant other, to your child, to your auntie, uncle, friends. Hey, I need you to send in $1. Why are we doing that? Because there's a national structure that's going to allow us as a people to find out what everyone do, get money collected so that we can fund what people are doing and make it make more sense. So what do I mean by that? As we're collecting, if we get the support of you guys and everyone is out there talking about $1 from everyone they know and talking to everyone they know, we're going to be getting organized. Because if you go out and talk to 10 people, 2 of them gonna be nurses. Once you come back with that $1 and you come back with the 2 nurses, they're gonna get linked with the nurses nationally. And I wanted to show you guys this on my computer, but it looks like it's not gonna cooperate. So I might not be able to show you how that looks nationally. But if we're going out talking to 40 million black people, we're gonna come back with knowing who's into technology, business, science, nursing, education, who's into science, who's into gardening, farming, and then knowing all those things, now it makes it easier for us to be able to strategically support these other initiatives, the education initiatives, the business initiatives, the food initiatives, the legal initiatives. And because we pull those dollars together, now we on a unison track that I've never seen. I'm 46 years old. So I got these 2 terms I want to introduce to you. It's called MTC, and that's money to consume and money to circulate. So both acronyms is MTC, money to consume, money to circulate. The reason why National Block Club University is critical with collecting $1, the reason why we're so needed for this is because of the structure we have. We have 20 Chicago zip codes. So if you live inside those zip codes, we got leadership in your zip code. So that means when you release the money, someone in your zip code is watching us and you can join in watching us as well. So you have some accountability there because of our leadership in your zip code. The other reason is every one of our zip codes is linked to a different city. So now it's a reason for you to tell your auntie in Memphis, your cousin in Boston, because again, we have the same structure in those 20 cities. In every one of those places where whoever you're talking to, whatever they do for a living, we have that as well. They a nurse, they're in technology, we have that. So it's almost like what we're really doing is organizing our people and collecting at least some revenue so that we can have a bulk. Imagine 46 million black people doing $1. That's $46 million. That's just $1. So imagine when we get to $1 every single month. So that's just pie in the sky, but I love for people to be able to see kind of what the end looks like. And so the end looks like something exists, a structure exists where we can get support from everyone, all of our people. And that's what this represents, us being able to reach all our Black people and say, can we do something collectively together? And in this case here, we made it easy for you to do that. So money to consume is the problem. That's what we're doing now. We're doing MTC bad, money to consume. So in all of our zip codes, we got organizations doing fundraisings, collecting, doing things. And unfortunately, the money that we fundraise and collect and do, it goes to pay salaries, it goes to host events, and we hire non-Black people to run the events. We pull money together, we hire non-Black people to do the work. We pull money together, we give that money away to all things European. So it's money to consume. When you do your $1 in this structure, it's money to circulate, because the whole reason why we need money is so that we can take that money and turn that money right back around and put our people to work in our zip codes, in your zip code. When we put your people to work, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be doing things on business. They're going to be doing things on education. They're going to be doing things on safety. They're going to be doing things on senior citizens. And we're doing things on youth development. So it's your money working for you. And that means that money is staying, it's circulating, it's coming from you, it's going to people in your neighborhood that's working with this concept. Those people working with this concept are asked to name 4 Black businesses at the end of each month. So now that money is circulating again. So it circulates first from your hand to people in your zip code working. Then your people in your zip code working is being asked to circulate it with 4 other Black businesses. This is the premier structure process to make sure that we turn Black life around. So let me equate that to the violence and how this matters when we talk about the shootings in Philadelphia or the shootings in Detroit. Those brothers out there pulling triggers and shooting, number one, when you commit a crime, you got to pay. So I want to make that clear. We're not advocating that. But there's a 10-year-old right now that's ready to become a shooter. So what is our plan for that 10-year-old? Where it goes back to why we're trying to collect $1 from every single Black person. Because as we're collecting it, we're finding out who's that retired carpenter, who's that retired auto repair person. So now that young 10-year-old that's ready to become a shooter, now he loves working on cars or being around guys working on cars. Now he's linked with this retired auto repair person. Because of your $1, we can fund the remove the alternator the fastest competition. That keeps him active and under a retired auto repair person's leadership. That 19-year-old that loves numbers and accounting, he get linked in with some of our accountants that's retired. Your dollars allow us to have funding so that they can do a math competition and he can win money and feel good about himself. The point I'm making is the most important thing that we do is to get our dollars in our hands and then keep them in our hands as much as possible. Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy, they know the value of keeping that dollar rotating around before it leaves. In our community, because structurally we're so compromised with, we call it blang, business supply stores. We got the liquor stores, the apparel stores, the nail salon, gas station, corner stores, cell phone shops, all owned by outsiders in our neighborhoods nationwide. So there's a national strategy to make sure that they are in our neighborhood making money. So it's a few things I want to put out there just for those who are taking notes. The United States of America is a consumer nation. Black people in America are the biggest consumers. Debt is how a lot of companies operate and make money. So the central banking, medicine, college debt, high interest debt, prison pipeline, and entertainment, i.e. coffee, are the ways that Black people are hurt in this country. And we are the largest racial group in this country. And this country is the 4th most largest country in the world. So we are a major player and don't act like it. As Black people, we let everyone else make money off of us. And those entities I just named, so many people make a living, get rich off of Black people, from the banking to the medicine to the college debt to high interest loans, prison pipeline, entertainment. Think about entertainment. That's one of God's gifts to Black people, but every other non-Black entity controls, whether it's the major sports or music, you name it, it's other people. Let's talk about Europe. So Europe, and a lot of Black people love Europe more than they love Africa, in action. I don't know in their heart, but in action, because we spent our money and sent it over there. So the Netherlands, their largest export are vaccines, meaning this foreign country, the biggest thing they push is vaccines. How do they push it in the United States of America? Through lobbyists, paid lobbyists. So here you got vaccines being pushed mainly on probably the largest racial group in America, easy to target us. So that's their largest export. The United Kingdom largest exports are chemicals. Germany, their largest exports are cars and medicine. Ireland, their largest export is medicine. Italy, largest export is cars and fashion. And then France, largest export is weapons. Now, so Black people is $2 trillion group. The video I showed you was 15 billion back then, 1954. We're richer than 40 countries all around this world. And yet still, we as Black people don't have some of these things I'm about to read off to you. Do we have a national bank? Black people, the largest racial group and the fourth largest country in the world. Do we have a national bank? Do we have a national grocery store? Do we have a national storage company? Do we have a national sports league? Do we have a national accountant? Do we have a national law firm? Do we have a national construction firm? Do we have a national political party? Do we have a national airline? Do we have a national insurance company? Do we have national media? Do we have national hospitals? Do we have a national school system? HBCUs, thank God for that. Do we have national hotel brand? So my point is this: whenever we look at the fact that a lot of the people in the world eats off of us, this is why I believe Mr. Hoover said Blacks coming together is the biggest threat to this country and then to the world, because even Europe benefits off exploiting us. The largest diamond in the world is sitting in Britain right now. I don't know why. It came from Africa. I don't know why it's in Britain. You decide that. So Germany is the largest economy in the whole European Union. Germany is 82 million people in Germany. All the Mexicans in the world is less than Nigeria. Nigeria is almost 200 million people in that one country. The United Kingdom is the largest trading partner with the United States of America. Think about that. We went to war with them, but they are our largest partner, yet still we don't trade with Africa. So that just shows you on a global stage what we're dealing with. Then you have the the G7, which is the 7 largest economies in the world, the G20. Africa is not a part of that, but all of these global economies get their raw products from Africa. So there's a correlation between keeping the largest racial group in America on hamster wheels, going around in circles, debating who's better, fighting, and not pulling together to create those national structures that can keep keeping our $2 trillion somewhat inward. All of it won't stay inward, but a lot of it should stay inward. So I want to just close this thing out with what it looks like, because a lot of people say to me, "Si, I hear you talking, it sounds good, but what does it look like when you say things can be different? What does it look like?" And I tried to think in an animated way that to give you guys what it would look like. But the best way, I believe, is it looks like you being able to be more relaxed. And the reason you can let your shoulders down and be more relaxed is because you will know that our system and our structure is at work. Let me say that again. You can not be pins and needles because you know our system and our structure is at work. Let me give you the structure. When I say a national bank, national grocery store, national, what does that look like? Well, here's what we have structure-wise. Gary, Chicago, Atlanta. Gary, Chicago, Atlanta. That is one region, okay? There are people right now working to make sure Gary, Chicago, Atlanta is united. So when I talk about national bank, that national bank will have a Gary, Chicago, Atlanta branch, okay? We also have DSM, which is Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee. That national bank will have a Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee branches as well. That's a second region. The third region is Miami, Birmingham, and New Orleans. Bank will have a Miami, Birmingham, New Orleans region. Southwest region is Dallas and Memphis. So that bank will have a Dallas and Memphis office. The next region is the Kansas City, St. Paul, and Cleveland region. All right, then we have the Los Angeles and San Diego region. And finally, the seventh region is Boston, Philadelphia, DC, Norfolk, and New York City. That's the 7 region and the largest region. So the bank again. So right now, the way it's set up, we have because the violence is happening in all those places, we have some infrastructure with relationships in all the places. As I stated, our structure says that every single one of our neighborhoods by zip code is linked to another sister city. So that keeps us doing this, all right? That keeps us being relevant to each other. What I see from Black people right now is I see people rejecting what I'm saying. I'm only worried about my neighborhood. And you got people internationally plotting against you, but you only worry about your little small neighborhood that they are already infiltrating. You got Russia owning real estate in your neighborhood, but you don't want to come together nationally because you want to just fix your neighborhood. It's bigger than that. The ship has already left the yard already, the port. So those 7 regions is our structure. So whether we talk about a national law firm, national accounting firm, national bank, grocery store, those 7 regions is how we would support that. And what we're asking our community to do right now, because we understand it's some legal ramifications to doing that. You know, some people, it's going to be threats when it comes to that. So what we're saying right now is let these people that I just named, the banks, the grocery stores, the accounting firms, right now, just pull your dollar together. Because with that, you're just helping us to fight the violence. But we already know behind the scenes, as we get you linked in with others in that same field, then you guys can talk about coming together on that level of accounting, that level of carpentry, the national grocery store. Y'all can have that conversation off to the side, but we brought y'all together nationally because of the anti-violence work that we do. So we're sitting here on this perfect structure, and then the system is, hey, every Wednesday is economic day. So you can't kill Wednesday, so you can't stop Wednesdays from coming. Every Friday is Seniors Day. Can't stop Fridays from coming. So with our system, once you know the days, once you know how to use time, now you can relax. You don't have to rush. Every January and 6 months later, July, is last names A through E. So this is all the Atwoods, this is all the Davises, the Butlers, the Kings, the Edwards, the Canfields, Caldwells. We only ask those last names to be active in January and 6 months later in July. Again, when you can relax, it's because you know you got coverage. You know, no matter what happened in a 12-month period, you know who got your back, who's pulling money together, who's buying for your son or daughter fundraising, who's coming together if tragedy strikes and you need to raise money. Because we already know for the whole year what last names are being asked to step up. This is so relaxing because now you don't have to worry or stress. This is what I'm talking about, what victory looks like. But none of this happens the way it could if we can't get past getting $1 together. Like that, like everything I'm saying to you hinges on how do we get 2% of 46 million people to put up $1 a month. That's what it hinges on. That's the only thing holding this back. So I want you to know, if you're not a part of our team out here pushing and helping to get $1 sent in, then unfortunately, you're doing a silo. You're doing what you're doing to help people and add value to people's lives, and I commend you for that. But please know that what Black people are going through structurally has international ties. People around the world are participating. The reason cotton was such a force multiplier was because it was being sold overseas. It was international. So please don't think what you're doing locally is going to change the game, because it's way bigger. We're talking about how do we pull our dollars together. My number is 312-405-8844. 312-405-8844. I wanted to show you guys something, but my computer just doing what it do. So I couldn't show you. I just had to show you on the phone what I could. If you're a business owner, we need you like yesterday, 312-405-8844. Our businesses, come on, we need you guys like yesterday, because the residents are gonna take a little time. Just getting to them is harder than it is getting to you. We can look you up, your phone is listed. We don't have to jump through the hoops we jump through for residents. But if our business owners are spending too much time questioning, and you should question things, but question and release the money. We talking about $1. Like, let's just get that done so that we can have this scale of 46 million people doing $1.